what is for you is navigating its way towards you, and you do not need to chase what is for you. Hi, welcome back to another video. My name is Senya if you're new here, and if you're not, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 things I've learned in 2024. Hopefully you can take something from this that will help you in your journey in 2025 and help create that life that you've always wanted. So let's get right into it. The first thing that I learned in 2024 was really just understanding that perfection does not exist. I used to get so hung up on everything needing to be perfect, so much so that it was really just taking time away from what it is that I wanted to be doing and living that life that I have envisioned in my head. And 2024, I really focused on not being so hard on myself and just knowing that sometimes just getting something done is really what opens the door of actually getting you to where you need to be, and you will always learn along the way. When you have a perfectionist mindset, it usually comes from this subconscious insecurity that you may feel within yourself. A couple of the ways that this can show up in your life is if you have something that has really been bothering you. Let's say it's an outfit. You are going to your friends and you're saying like, does my outfit look good? Do you think this is too this or that? And not saying not to ask opinions about what you wear. It's really not the point that I'm driving here. The point that I'm driving is that you are subconsciously being really insecure about something. And when you are second guessing yourself and you have to ask everyone in your town whether or not you should do that thing, it is more of you just not trusting yourself. And the more you begin to go after what it is that you want to do, you will start to build that trust in yourself. You will find that second guessing voice in your head will actually begin to quiet down, and you will be able to live the life that you want on the other side of your insecurity. This year, it has been so nice for me to sit in my confidence and realize that nothing has to be perfect, that the more I continue to just go after it and do it, the more it becomes better. And it's actually so fun to look back and realize how far you've come. So perfection does not exist. Do not let that hold you from what you want to do. Leading into my next point is learning to enjoy the build, creating those systems, really enjoying the journey, as they say. How many more times can I say that in 3 different ways? I think I've reached the word count. So we are going to continue to move on. This year, I've really begun to enjoy the systems I am putting in place. I've enjoyed what you would consider the boring things of achieving what it is that you see as success. Once you realize that it's going to be those little things that schedule every day that's really going to contribute to your overall goal and your overall success. With enjoying the journey, you also realize that you will begin to build patience and knowing that what is for you is navigating its way towards you, and you do not need to chase what is for you. I know it's easy to feel when you are on your schedule. Sometimes you are questioning yourself, are you doing the right thing? And standing in your confidence, knowing that the systems that you put in place are navigating you closer and closer each day, every minute, every hour, every second, you are getting closer and closer to that goal you want to achieve. There is more fun in the process of building something, because once you get to the end and you're at the top of that mountain that you've been climbing, you are going to look and be so excited that you're there. You will only look back at that journey that you have been through and be like, wow, like I did that. Those moments when you're building yourself are the moments you look back at when you are sitting at the top and you are realizing that you made it. It just feels like such a sweet life because you got there and you did it. And a lot of the times the system is what we aren't enjoying as much because we're so focused on the goal. But in reality, that is where you get the most rush, is when you are focusing day in and day out on that thing. And when you finally get to it, it is just sweet as pie. So for 2025, learn to love that system that you put in place. Learn to love those boring times. Learn to enjoy every second of it, because that's really where the magic happens, honestly. And that is what I have learned in 2024. I am a busybody Aquarius, and if I can learn to enjoy the boring things, I feel like anyone can. So I believe in you. I believe in you. For the next thing that I have learned this year is to not be so hard on yourself. I, from the moment I can remember, have always been so unbelievably hard on myself, and it has done nothing for me but break me down and keep me from excelling in my life, because I had the mentality of just being so difficult and hard on myself that it just made me feel insecure about whatever it is that I even wanted to do, or it would keep me from being consistent and actually continuing to do the thing that I wanted to do, because I was essentially just scared of being not good at something. And everyone has to start from somewhere. When you are new at something and you're learning, you always have to remind yourself that that is what is going on. When you see someone trying and doing something, then think to yourself, how do I think about those people? And you're usually not going to be as hard on them as you are to yourself. So really look at yourself and think about, am I being really hard on myself? And you really need to ask yourself those questions when you feel like you are not doing whatever it is good enough, because you are probably surpassing a beginner level of whatever it is that you are trying to do. And it happens so often that such great talent and such great minds don't ever get to be seen, because some people spend their entire life just being so hard on themselves. In reality, they're doing so great in their head, or that thing would have been so great in their head, but them being hard on themselves has kept them from sharing that with the world. And this year, I have really just started to love myself and speak highly of myself to myself, and genuinely believe that the dreams in my head were not just given to me because they were just put in my head. If you have something in your head of a life that you're supposed to be living, of something you're supposed to be creating, that was given to you because you are supposed to be creating it. And that is your future self giving you a glimpse of what it is that's ahead of you. If you just believe in yourself and you are believing that you are capable of putting great out into the world. So for 2025, remind yourself, if you're new at something, you are learning something every day. You are becoming more and more of an expert in that, and you are learning. You're going to figure it out. It's a part of life. It's the fun part. So learning not to be so hard on yourself will get you so far in 2025. Moving into my next point, which is sitting in your feminine. This year, I have really learned to sit in my feminine. I've learned to accept. I've learned to go with the flow. I've learned to be so soft to myself in the way I approach life. And let me tell you, when you sit in your feminine, things feel so much easier. Femininity is still getting things done. It is still being proactive and being disciplined, but the way that I have channeled femininity to help me get through this year has been to really listen to my body when it comes to whether or not I'm sleeping enough, or I'm eating well, or if my workout can't be as hard, or if I'm been been working, and I might need to just sit there and breathe and do nothing, or if I need to call a friend. These are all of the ways that I have stepped into my feminine to help guide me, so I'm moving with the waves instead of against them. And a lot of the times in this world, we as women feel like we need to be in our masculine all the time because there's so much going on, and we have to just keep going, and hustle culture. And it's, yes, be consistent, be goal oriented, but sometimes men or women, we do need to sit in our feminine, and we need to realize when our body is speaking to us and letting us know whether or not we need to slow down. And this year, that has really helped with just being able to stay consistent and not letting my cup run empty, and making sure that I am always filling it up and being present with myself, being present with the work that I'm doing, being present with the workouts, what I'm eating, just being very intentional with the choices that I'm making. So in 2025, I plan on continuing to live in my feminine and realizing how good it's felt this year, because I am someone who has always been running off of masculine energy in a way that was more hindering me than actually helping. So when you feel like something's not right, or you feel like you should be listening to your body or that little voice in your head, take some time and sit with that and ask yourself, how am I doing today? For the last thing I've learned this year is to learn when relationships need to be at a pause or might need to be terminated. And for this reason is because if you feel like in a relationship you have been done wrong, or you have been just suppressing the way you feel about a relationship and it's not serving you in a good way, it might even be a little toxic. At the end of the day, people know what they did. You can only sit around for so long and continuing to let someone treat you the way that they know is not right. And a lot of the times, we want an apology from these people, or we want an acknowledgement from these people, and we sit around and it's hurting us because we want to just be seen in the feeling, and that person in the relationship, or maybe even multiple people, are not seeing you. And it's not that they don't see what they're doing, it's that they know exactly what they're doing, and they are not going to admit to you and give you that satisfaction of peace because they don't want to do that. And this year I've learned that with my emotional being, with my mental health, with my feeling of myself, I will not sit around and allow people to continue to treat me in a way that does not make me feel good. If the relationship is not salvageable, we need to move on to bigger and better things, not have that unnecessary clutter of just negative energy. That has also helped me really mentally clear up a lot of things. If you feel like you have been going through something similar, I definitely suggest that you also look into the close relationships in your life, or relationships in your life that aren't serving you. And these can be people, these can be work relationships. Just take a deep look within. Try your best to either mend relationships or maybe even terminate them for your best self to help you reach the goals of 2025. So in my last video, I had a point to write a love letter to yourself, acknowledging all that you have accomplished, what you are proud of yourself for, about your journey, about even the smallest things to the biggest things, and giving yourself pages of love to remind yourself that you made it through 2024, and you would take that knowledge that you learned this year, or those experiences that you learned, into the next next year. And in this video, I call you to do the same thing, to write that love letter to yourself, reminding yourself who you are, and you are going to soar in 2025. With that being said, that is all I have for today. If you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.